Well, Darren Fletcher striding along the touchline with Johnny Evans alongside him. He's an assistant to Darren Fletcher. Alan Wright, the former Blackburn fullback, is involved as well. Played with Jason Wilcox out Blackburn, and Travis Binion, who's been working with the academy at United as well. Is it the start of a new era for Manchester United, or the start of another new era? Burnley against Man United in the Premier League, live and exclusive on the radio station that brings you more football than anywhere else. Talksport, with your commentary team, former England defender Mickey Gray alongside Jim Proudfoot.
Adrian, thank you. The two sets of players are out and they've lined up around the edge of the centre circle. We are going to be having a minute's tribute here. It is the first home game that Burnley have played in 2026. And on the giant screens away to our left-hand side and to the right, the names of Burnley supporters that we've lost during 2025 now scroll gently from the bottom up to the top, and they will all be remembered now by their footballing family.
This past year, as we also remember club legend and former England goalkeeper Colin McDonald, who passed away just last week. We now ask you to join in a round of applause.
Acknowledgement of the Burnley fans that we lost in 2025, and also one of the club's great goalkeepers, Colin McDonald, who passed away last week. Well, in Ruben Amorim's spelling charge at Old Trafford, Manchester United took 14 fewer points than Palace. They scored 9 goals less than Brighton. They conceded 21 more than Everton. They won 5 fewer games than Brentford, and they finished behind Bournemouth in every one of those statistical categories. Damning figures over a 13-month period that saw 13 clubs take more Premier League points than United, where signs of promise seldom bloomed, and where an ill-fated start and calamitous middle was always likely to be followed by an unhappy ending. The new era starts here. A fresh chapter for Manchester United. Darren Fletcher at the helm. Bruno's back. The back four is back. And they could be back in the Champions League positions at the end of the night. Burnley hoping to avoid being back in the Championship. They're chasing a first win in 12 by inducing a false start to the post-Amorim era. We are underway. Manchester United, white shirts, kicking from right to left in this first half. Burnley in their famous claret. Just having a look at the way that Manchester United are lining up. It is Dorgu on the left and Cunha on the right, rather than the other way around. Mickey Gray, very good evening to you. For a match that I think if you're a Burnley fan, you're cursing the timing of this.
Yeah, I think you always are, Jim. Whenever there's a managerial change, you expect that bump, don't you, from the side that have lost their manager. And United, obviously, the change in system. It's going to be interesting to see how they set up. But that was one that I thought, with Dorgu playing on this left-hand side, I thought he would have started on the right, but see how it goes for Manchester United tonight. But I think we've got a good game in our sights tonight, no doubt about it.
So elsewhere, Bournemouth leading Spurs 2-1, Brentford 1, Sunderland 0, Everton 1, Wolves 0. Chelsea down to 10 men with Cucurella's dismissal at Fulham still 0-0. Manchester City leading Brighton 1-0 with Erling Haaland scoring for the spot, his 150th Manchester City goal and the 35,000th goal in Premier League history. Manchester United on the front foot trying to make it 35,001 with Luke Shaw laying it back for Lisandro Martinez on the halfway line. He's clipped it forward here for the runner Patrick Dorgu. It's just lent into there by Josh Laurent. He's won it, the Burnley defender. Now then Walker can shepherd it over the line and out of play for a goal kick. Now let's get half-time details at Hill Dickinson with Talksport's Matt Jones.
Everton 1, Wolves 0 at the break. Michael Keane scoring the goal in the 17th minute. A really tidy finish from near the penalty spot as he picked a Rabunum scuffed shot. Other than that, he's hit the post. Mikolenko's come close as well. Wolves have been dreadful. Everton 1, Wolves 0 at the break.
And Brentford leading at half-time. The G-Tech, Ian Abrahams.
Brentford 1, Sunderland 0. Yannick through ball for Igor Thiago to round the goalkeeper and get his 15th of the season. Could have been 2-0 right on half-time. 25-yard Lewis Potter free kick hit the crossbar. Brentford 1, Sunderland 0.
Manchester United in possession in their own half with a throw. We'll go to Selhurst Park for half-time details from Charlotte Richardson.
Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 0. One clear chance apiece. Emiliano Martinez superbly flicking Brennan Johnson's attempt out for a corner. Ollie Watkins denied by smart smothering from Dean Henderson down the other end. Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 0.
Thank you, Charlotte. Burnley in possession with Marcus Edwards trying to work the ball down towards the right-hand side for Walker. Picked up in the midfield by Florentino. And Hannibal Medjbury can make his way forward towards the edge of the penalty area here, but can't find a way through. He's bustling, but it was cleared in front of him by Dallo towards halfway. Boomed back into the Lancastrian night sky by Laurent, and a clever touch by Hannibal will be able to lay it off through the midfield. Burnley able to bring it forward again here with Edwards. Breuer making his way into the middle. The ball played out to the left-hand side. An opportunity to try and deliver his pass up. Ugarte is down there trying to force Edwards down towards the corner flag. And then Ugarte just was given a pull inside his own penalty area to give a free kick to Manchester United, who line up with Lawrence in goal, Dallo, Heaven, Martinez and Shaw, Casemiro and Ugarte, Cunha, Fernandez and Dorgu and Šeško. Down for Burnley, it's Dubravka in goal, Laurent, Esteve and Humphreys, Walker, Ugachukwu, Florentino and Lucas Pires, Benchbury and Edwards and Breuer up front. Free kick that Senna Lomans will take. Away to our right-hand side, he's in all yellow, booming the ball forward here. It's helped on and brought down inside the centre circle by Manuel Ugarte. Ugarte to his left, able to play Luke Shaw forward as the goal goes in at Craven Cottage on Talksport. Will Hobbs.
And it's gone to Harry Wilson. Fulham 1, Chelsea 0. His 6th shot on target. He was slipped in by Zander Berger, and a cool left-footed finish. Of course it was the left foot across Sanchez into the bottom corner. VAR is checking a Wilson offside. Has he just got his back leg over into the area? If he has, he will have his goal ruled out. There is a check right now. We'll come back with the result of that, but at the moment it's Fulham 1, Chelsea 0. Harry Wilson with the goal.
Fernandez chipping the ball forward. He's trying to get Benjamin Šeško in. Burnley winning it back on the right-hand touchline with Edwards. He's done well, laying it back for Josh Laurent, the Englishman, who's playing a centre half at the moment rather than in his favoured midfield position. Just lays it down, but has given it away. Casemiro now for Bruno Fernandes. The United fans months ago singing for the return of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It would be a popular appointment. At the moment, though, it is the caretaker before the interim, with Darren Fletcher suited and booted for the night. The man that's picked this team. Edwards getting it forward. Hannibal Medjbury, edge of the D, rolls it to his left-hand side. It's clipped back in, but through a vacant 6-yard box. And will roll innocuously down towards the touchline and out of play. Meanwhile, the referee, with the ball having gone out, you heard a few boos and murmurs from in front of us from the Burnley supporters. They thought that they should have had a free kick, and the referee just going across to try and calm Josh Lauren down. It's half-time at Manchester City. Here's John Dunn.
Manchester City 1, Brighton 0. Erling Haaland is 150th for the club, scoring from a penalty on the 40th minute. Diego Gomez bringing down Jeremy Doku. Reinders right on half-time with a shot cleared off the line. Brighton started brightly. Donnarumma making good saves within the first 10 minutes to deny Gross and Codiolju. Half-time, City 1, Brighton 0.
And what was the result of that VAR check at the Cottage, Will?
Harry Wilson was offside, so it remains Fulham 0, Chelsea 0. He was coming back from an offside position and he just didn't come back quick enough to get on to Cuenca's ball. So nearly half-time, 51 minutes gone for the stoppage time. Fulham 0, Chelsea 0.
And it is half-time as well at the Vitality, where Dr. Tottenham are just getting the stethoscope ready, I think. Alex Crook.
Yeah, those travelling Spurs fans far from happy. It's Bournemouth 2, Tottenham 1. It started well enough for the visitors. Matthias Tell opening the scoring after only 5 minutes. His goal cancelled out by Evan Nilsson's excellent header on 22, and 14 minutes later, Junior Krupi scored from point-blank range. Anton Semenyo has been booked on his Bournemouth farewell. It's Bournemouth 2, Tottenham 1.
Casemiro with a Manchester United shot. High and wide, but after a good move, Mickey Gray down the left-hand side. A clever touch from Šeško. 5 or 6 passes in that United move together, but 7 gone still 0-0.
It was their best move of the game so far. I know it's the early stages, but the worrying thing for me is defensively. If Hannibal had a left foot, Jim, on 2 occasions, he could have got his shot away, but he's opted for to play the ball out towards that left-hand side because Ugarte and Casemiro are just letting him drift off him in towards that back four of Manchester United, something that Darren Fletcher, I'm sure, needs to look at.
It's still 0-0. Neither goalkeeper has had a difficult save to make so far. Heaven hooking the ball away for Manchester United, coming forward here in their white shirts, down in front of us as they kick from right to left with Luke Shaw finding Ugarte. Ugarte 10 yards inside the Bournemouth half. Edwards just backing off almost at a reverential distance. United work it back, and Heaven has it again. Heaven, Cunha, a slightly misplaced pass, but Casemiro was able to stretch out a right leg, bring the ball under control, work it back for Lomans. Lomans to Lisandro Martinez, and back again, and now played through the penalty area, the other side for Aidan Heaven. His ball forward goes into the feet of Bruno Fernandes in the midfield. Just plays the way that he's facing back for Cunha. Cunha riding a couple of challenges, back for Casemiro. And now angled down towards Luke Shaw. Manchester United, as expected, dominating possession and happy to take the game to Burnley, but mindful already of the defensive deficiencies that Mickey was talking about. Because when Burnley can get it forward, they might be able to do so with purpose on the counter-attack. Like now, Lucas Pires. Out of the left for Hannibal Mejbri. Florentino takes over. Mejbri again with the shock of dark hair. Leslie Ugochukwu joining the attack. Florentino out towards Lucas Pires, whose cross is blocked by Dallo. And it goes out of play, but it will be a throw in a good position, about 9 or 10 yards from the corner flag. Let's get half-time details from Craven Cottage in a moment. Burnley have taken the throw quickly. Mejbri's got it. Cutting onto his right foot on the edge of the penalty area. His shot, though, is blocked by Casemiro. Manchester United able to get it away. Now in the counter-attack, 2 against 2 for a moment. Dorgu rolling it forward. Šeško making a run down the inside left channel, getting it back into Dorgu's path, but his touch was really heavy. And out comes Dubravka to make the save. Let's get those half-time details from the Cottage. Here's Will Hobbs.
Fulham 0, Chelsea 0. Fulham on top and a man up after Cucurella's red card for hauling down Harry Wilson. He was deemed by VAR to have let go just before Wilson entered the area. Wilson then had the ball in the net on the stroke of half-time and 5 other shots before that, but the goal was ruled out by VAR. Emil Smith-Rowe nearly rippled the net when he rifled a tracer bullet over. Andre Santos has sacrificed as Hato came on to cover for Cucurella. Enzo's dropped deeper next to Caicedo. Chelsea hanging on. Fulham yet to capitalise. Fulham 0, 10-man Chelsea 0.
10 minutes gone here. Martin Dubravka back on his feet. He just stayed down for 40 seconds or so there. But he is okay. Bounces the yellow ball a couple of times, rolls it to the edge of the penalty area and now hits it forward right-footed. Shaw on the end of that can just chest it down, finds Dorgu for Lisandro Martinez, and back for Lomans inside his own penalty area. And Aidan Heaven takes a touch, threatens to go into the more congested midfield area, then work the ball out the other way to find Cunha. Starting on the right-hand side with Dorgu on the left, if you're just joining us. Burnley one possession back, and Pires can just play it into the feet of Mejbri from close range. Ugochukwu now with an aerial ball out towards Kyle Walker. Walker just steering that one back for Marcus Edwards. The odd isolated pantomime boo from the United fans for Kyle Walker, the former Manchester City man. He's in possession again, laying it back. Walker, who's playing his 650th game in English club football, 17 of those in Manchester derbies over the years. He's worked it back here for Laurent, who finds his goalkeeper. You're listening to Burnley Man United on Talksport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Burnley Man United live. Right now, search Now Sports. 0-0 through 11. Medjbury's been really lively in these early stages. It's gone down 5 yards outside the box. The referee says no foul by Casemiro.
Yeah, it looked a foul to me, Jim, I have to say. Look, it's been an entertaining game with not too much action in both 18-yard areas, I have to say, but Burnley are comfortable. And it's really alarming to me how much space they seem to be getting and picking up in those midfield areas. And Hannibal being the player, the ex-Manchester United player, who seems to be finding that space as well. Said he's tried to drift it a couple of times onto his left foot, couldn't really get his shot away. I think the best we've seen from Man United is a back heeler from Benjamin Sesko that didn't really come to Patrick Dorgu.
Yeah, Burnley looking lively, and they have it again with Hannibal Mejbri. It's a nice ball down the left-hand side of the penalty area, and the cross deflected goes in to give Burnley the lead. It's Bashir Humphreys who will claim the goal. Left-hand side of the penalty area, he sent over a speculative cross. It's taken a nick on its way through, looped over Lomans. Aidan Heaven, the Manchester United player that couldn't get the touch that he wanted. And 13 minutes into his interim reign, Darren Fletcher sees his Manchester United side trail at Turf Moor by a goal to nil.
Well, it's really worrying. I touched on it on 2 or 3 occasions. The space that Burnley are picking up in the midfield area, and on this occasion it's a little give and go, and who switches off on this occasion? Casemiro. Bashir Humphreys gets himself to the edge of the 18-yard area, and you just take a chance. He's tried to whip that ball in the 6-yard area. He gets that slight deflection off Aidan Heaven, and Lamens can do absolutely nothing with the deflection as it just drops over his head into the back of the net. They've been the better of the sides, Burnley, so far. This system at the moment for Manchester United, it's just not working, Jim.
Change it back to a back three?
Well, look, I think what you have to do, look, Bruno Fernandes, Cunha and Patrick Dorgu, they're all defensive-minded at times, but you have to tell them as a coach to say, look, when we haven't got the ball, get yourself back into a position to help out our back four.
Well, I think it has been officially recorded as an Aidan Heaven own goal. So 14 minutes in, and heaven and hell for Darren Fletcher. Long, long way to go. And Cunha just turning, arms outstretched, looking at Dalot. Don't look too happy, some of the Manchester United players, with the way that is unfolding. And we're talking about the patterns of play on the pitch as opposed to the fact that they are behind. They still haven't kept a clean sheet in 16 away league games now. It's their worst run for 40 years. It goes back to March of last year when they shut out Leicester at the King Power. That's the last time they kept a clean sheet on the road. Here is Aidan Heaven, flicking it off to his right-hand side and then getting it back on halfway. Casemiro getting it forward towards Benjamin Sesko. A strong challenge comes in on him from Laurent. United have it again. In front of us, Luke Shaw, as he picks it up. We're situated really high at the back of the main stand, about 15 yards inside the half that Burnley are defending. Hannibal Mejbri can come for Casemiro in there with a firm block challenge that the referee took exception to. And Stuart Atwell has given a free kick to Burnley inside the centre circle. It's Burnley 1, United 0 on Talksport.
And Burnley, I have to say, deserve to be in front. You know, Manchester United at times, Jim, are just giving the ball away with no pressure on them whatsoever. Patrick Dorgu on a couple of occasions giving the ball away, simple passes. Benjamin Sesko's hold-up play has not been anywhere near good enough, and Burnley just keep picking up the ball. They've got that extra body in midfield and they're making it count for them at the moment, which is why they see themselves in front in the game already.
Now Man United are going to be able to bring it forward, and it's a really good dynamic run. Dorgu, left-hand side of the penalty area, having been played in by Ugarte. Down towards Luke Shaw. Shaw clipping it in. It was an awkward one. Fell behind Sesko. Humphreys can bring it away. They just rifled it straight into Casemiro from close range. It hit his arm, and the referee says handball.
Well, I'm not quite sure what Casemiro can do in that situation. You know, he's just got his body in the way, and as it's flicked up, it's obviously ricocheted off his arm. And the referee, Stuart Atwell, blew his whistle to give the free kick. I'm not actually quite sure it's his arm either, Jim. It looks like his face rather than anything. So, yeah, it's a bit of a let-off for Burnley.
I think he's maybe, having seen a second angle, just brushed off the top of his right hand straight into his face. but he's very unlucky. I mean, the arm's in a natural position. There's nothing he could have done about it. It was whacked at him from close range. Burnley 1, United 0. 16 minutes gone here on Talksport. Burnley haven't won any of the last 8 meetings of these two sides since a Jay Rodriguez goal added to a Chris Wood opener at Old Trafford back in 2020. In fact, the goal that they've scored tonight is only the 4th that they've netted here at Turf Moor against Manchester United in 57 years. Lucas Pires bringing the ball forward down the Burnley left, the far touchline. Florentino, Mejbri lets it run, gets it back immediately from Marcus Edwards, the one-time Tottenham youngster. Lucas Pires to Edwards again. Ugarte following him every step of the way, but Edwards can maintain possession. Plays it back to Humphreys on the left of the back three. Played forward by him to Hannibal. Hannibal Mejbri's touch out to the left-hand side for Edwards. Lucas Pires now for Mejbri. Mejbri firing one in. Walker's going to chase down the Burnley right. He just couldn't quite keep it in. And it goes out of play. I mean, Burnley doing all of their attacking down the far touchline there left at the moment, and some really good interplay between Pires and Hannibal Mejbri.
Yeah, they are. They look very confident, and they're getting the better of that right-hand side of Manchester United. I think a couple of things I would change looking at United at the moment, Jim, is certainly having Bruno Fernandes maybe helping out the two holding midfield players, but also Matheus Cunha and Patrick Dorgu. Dorgu's best game for Man United was on the right-hand side when he got his goal. And he just looks a better player when he's drifting in onto his left foot. And Matheus Cunha, I have to say, on this side, looks better coming inside onto his right foot. So I just wonder what Darren Fletcher's actually thought by playing those two players left and right.
Here's Luke Shaw in possession for United, playing on the left of the back four. From him to Lisandro Martinez, and Lomans stabs it forward, finds Ugarte. Ugarte bringing it out of the penalty area, down towards Shaw, back for Martinez again. He's making his 100th United appearance tonight, and he'll just saunter forward 10-11 yards away from the edge of his own penalty area to find Ugarte. This kind of area, it's pretty pedestrian from Manchester United at the moment. Heaven playing it back for Bruno Fernandes. They haven't been able to get him as heavily involved as they would like. Heaven comes forward once more. 19 gone. 1-0 after the Aiden Heaven deflection on a Bashir Humphreys cross. And it's gone down as an own goal. Casemiro playing it back to the edge of the centre circle. Now forward from Martinez. Ugarte. Casemiro to Shaw. Possession probably in the mid-60s as far as United are concerned, but they haven't really had a decent move worthy of the name up to this point. Everything in front of Burnley right now. Heaven is trying to draw Breuer towards the ball. Lays it to his left-hand side for Shaw, to Martinez. Back for Heaven again. Heaven out towards the right-hand side for Diogo Dalot. Dalot nearly losing possession. Had to scamper under pressure from Hannibal Mejbri, but he is able to get it back for Senna Lomans. Second half's about to start in the games that kicked off at 7:30. Bournemouth 2, Spurs 1, Brentford 1, Sunderland 0. 0-0 Palace Villa. Everton 1, Wolves 0. That is back underway. Fulham against 10-man Chelsea 0-0. Manchester City 1, Brighton 0. And a reminder that all of the games live for you on the Talksport network tonight. I'll tell you what's where and how you can listen to them very shortly. As Shaw plays it forward for Dorgu. Dorgu back to Casemiro. Right-footed ball clipped in, and he's beaten everybody and just sails straight out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Martin Dubravka. Here on Talksport, Burnley leading 1-0 against Manchester United. On Talksport 2, Fulham 0-0 with 10-man Chelsea. On Talk Radio, it's 0-0 between Palace and Villa. And if you've got the Talksport app, if you go to the live games tab, the bottom right-hand corner, you will be able to click on that and choose any of the 6 live games from the Premier League tonight. We have them all covered for you on the network. Coming up to the midway stage of the first half of this one. Tomorrow, it's Arsenal-Liverpool. And that's an 8 o'clock kickoff on Talksport. Build-up starting at 7 to wrap up week 21 of the Premier League season. Bruno Fernandes out to the right-hand side for Manchester United. Also, incidentally, still 0-0 between Newcastle and Leeds, and we'll be there in a moment as United bring it forward. Esteve hooking the ball away awkwardly but convincingly. Got it out towards the touchline. Lucas Pires won the second ball and now plays in Broy, and he's got nothing in the way of support, but he tries to bulldoze his way through into Manchester United territory. Aidan Heaven comes across and stops him. Puts the ball out of play into the dugouts for a throw to Burnley.
Yeah, and another mistake. Diogo Dalot on this occasion now over on the right-hand side. A simple pass yet again, just giving the ball away. He's been playing more like a right winger and just leaving three at the back, which is a concern. But, Jim, 22 minutes into the game, the creativity from Manchester United has been zero. Nothing's coming off for them. The ball keeps bouncing back. Burnley, because they've got the lead now, can just sit back, soak up the pressure and play the game at their pace.
Have won 3 of the 4 games that they've taken a 1-0 lead in this season, Burnley. And that's a little bit alarming that they've only taken a 1-0 lead in 4 games up to this point. But it has included all 3 wins that they've had. They lost at West Ham. United, on the other hand, not a good side chasing. Although they won at Palace, they've only picked up 4 points from 7 games when they've gone 1-0 down. We're midway through the first half here. Let's go to St James's Park. Newcastle United against Leeds. Here's Talksport Steve Harmison.
It's Newcastle 0, Leeds 0. It's 22 minutes on the clock. It's been a very slow burner so far. Leeds started the best. Strug had a header just over the bar. But so far in 22 minutes, we've had 1 shot so far, and that wasn't on target. It's been Newcastle 0, Leeds 0.
We've had 2 shots here, and neither of those have been on target, but Burnley do lead, courtesy of the own goal. And Agade can bring it forward here for Manchester United. Fernandes midway inside Burnley territory. Šeško with a header. First attempt on target comes from him. He was dipping all the time. Dubravka able to make a comfortable save, the centre of his goal, and then he bowls it out quickly for Josh Laurent to bring the ball forward, but under pressure from Dorgu, he's just given it away. That was better, though, from Man United, the kind of service that Šeško should be thriving upon.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah, and that's what you want your big centre forward. You want him in between the centre halves, making that little run, but when you've got the quality of Bruno Fernandes, he'd be expecting that ball a lot more. And it was a very good ball in from Bruno Fernandes. Look, he's done everything right. He's kept it down. He's got it on target. Yes, it was a simple save from Dubravka. But I want to see more from these forward players from Manchester United. The movement, they're very static. They're waiting for the ball just to bounce off them. But again, they've been scrappy at times. And yet again, as I'm speaking, Šeško, simple balls, giving it away.
They gave it away to Ugachukwu, who was fouled. The referee's played a good advantage here. Ugachukwu got back to his feet and was able to feed Marcus Edwards. Edwards coming forward towards the edge of the penalty area. He turned initially the right way, then the wrong way in towards Luke Shaw. Shaw can then toe poke the ball away from Ugachukwu in the midfield, and United will be able to bring it away. Casemiro there first. Šeško. Laurent read his intentions, and then Ugarte in really strongly on Hannibal, and again the referee plays the advantage. He might revisit that in a moment and produce a yellow card. Ball comes in from Esteve. Edwards with a slight air shot actually just got a toe to that, flicked it inside the penalty area, and it almost worked as a good bad one as far as Burnley were concerned. It does end up in the hands of Lomans. Manchester United will bring it away. Meshbury just in consultation with Stuart Atwell's got his arms out saying, I played the advantage, you were in possession. And he may well, next time the ball goes out of play, Book Ugarte will find out in a moment that Luke Shaw's got it, finding Bruno Fernandes. Every time Burnley push forward, United look rattled.
Yeah, they certainly do, Jim. It's like they're not settled into this back four and this new system. Well, it's not really new. It's just something that they haven't played too many times under Ruben Amorim, but it doesn't give you the opportunity at times, the amount that they've given the ball away, United.
Cunha, some beautiful interplay between him and Bruno Fernandes. And ends up with Cunha being fouled in a really good position for a free kick for United. It's about 9 outside the penalty area. Although the referee has put the spray down is a bit deeper than that. And Fernandes is making the point that he thinks he's been hard done by. He's lost a couple of yards. And it is going to be a free kick, and the referee hasn't booked Ugarte for that challenge 90 seconds ago in that previous phase of play. But this is a half-decent position. It would be a better position if Fernandes was taking the free kick from where he thought he should be. He's probably right at the limit of range because it's 2 cuts of grass back from the edge of the box. Martinez coming across and having a word with him. It's not going to stop Bruno having a crack, I don't think. Burnley have lined up a 4-man wall. Dubravka's not going to have a great view. Not much traffic in front of him. It is Bruno just clipping in, actually, the right-hand side of the area. Casemiro looping header back towards Cunha. What a goal-line clearance that is. Magnificent defending. Bashir Humphreys coming back, saves a certain goal. It's a really well-worked free kick. Beautifully flighted ball. Casemiro heading it back across the edge of the 6-yard box. Cunha attacked it. Dubravka beaten. And Humphreys did well to get a touch. But how he managed to steer it over the bar from where he was is a mystery. That is magnificent defending. Still 1-0. He's played a major part in both of the big moments so far tonight. In comes the corner. Casemiro going up for it. Šeško on the turn through a crowd of players and fired in for 1-1. Only for the referee to say that Martinez's goal has come after an infringement. It's been disallowed. And the VAR, of course, will check with the ball having gone in the net. But Martinez, having fired it in through a crowd of players, has been told to curtail his celebration. And Stuart Atwell is explaining the decision to Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, well, it's the on-field decision, isn't it, Jim? But I think two initial occasions was Casemiro holding on to his marker. Maybe there was a foul there, but I think then after that, Benjamin Šeško, he was kind of on a swivel turn, tried to get his shot away, and I'm just wondering whether he's made contact with anybody. But other than that, I couldn't really see anything wrong, because as it falls to Martinez, whether it's touched his hand or not, I don't think it does. It's a wonderful finish, I have to say. But there's quite a lot going on inside that 18-yard area. I can see Martinez has dragged somebody to the ground before the ball has found its way into the back of the net. Maybe that is the decision why this goal will not count.
There was also some pushing and shoving going on involving Aidan Heaven, who I think got a pretty legitimate case for claiming that he was being pulled back. But the decision stands, and on the scoreboard it says decision no goal, foul Martinez. So Alessandro Martinez, who had the ball in the net, was the guilty party. 1-0 Burnley lead, 28 minutes gone here on Talksport.
Yeah, I think you could see just before he put the ball in the back of the net, Jim, as that was coming in from the corner, he just dragged his marker down to the ground, and that's obviously what the referee Stuart Atwell has seen.
Lawrence with a poor clearance, and it's played back inside the penalty area. Broy knew he was offside. Florentino just hooked it back in first time. Broy was clearly offside, but was deemed to be close enough to where the ball ended up to be influencing play. So it is a free kick to United on the edge of their own box. They'll take a little bit of heart from the move that led to the corner, and then from the fact that they had the ball in the net from the corner itself, even if it was chalked off. But it's been a slow burner of a performance from Manchester United so far, Mickey Gray.
It has, yeah. Well, we're coming up to 30 minutes in the game, and it's been, I would say, very poor. They look a little bit nervy. You would think it was Burnley who'd made the change in the managerial hot seat, because they've been quite comfortable. You can see Scott Parker's done his due diligence. He's worked on this system and how to break Manchester United down, and he knows that they haven't got a lot of energy in that midfield area. And Hannibal is having a very good first half, I have to say, and they deserve to be in front. Took their opportunity when it came.
Yeah, it wasn't a great AFCON for Hannibal's country, Tunisia. That's why he's back. Lyle Foster back as well. On the bench, the South African international only got back to Lancashire last night, but he is on the bench for Burnley, and we might see him later. Half an hour in, Burnley 1, Manchester United 0. Edwards. Here's Leslie Ugachukwu, £25 million summer signing, but his ball forward was telegraphed somewhat. Picked off easily by Dallo, worked out wide for Cunha. Immediately he's got Hannibal Mejbri with him, so he's had to play it back. He can't get a cross in. Bruno Fernandes working it in. Cunha must be close to being offside, but no flag came up. There's a little back heel which was adventurous but too optimistic. And then when Burnley eventually see a shot rifle across their bows from the edge of the penalty area, it drifts wide of the far post and out for a goal kick. 30 gone, Mickey Gray. Burnley 1, Manchester United 0. It is a Burnley side who've only taken 2 points from the last 11 games. One away at Bournemouth, one here against Everton. Last win was at Wolves back on October the 26th. They've also beaten Sunderland here in August and Leeds in October, but they lead Manchester United.
Yeah, I was going to mention those two games that they've won at home against the sides that obviously got promoted, but this is a side that established Premier League team, Jim, that they've taken the lead and they've got a big opportunity.
Penalty action at the G-Tech. Ian Abrahams
Brentford 1, Sunderland 0. Penalty to Sunderland though. Robbie brought down inside the penalty area by Ager. It's Enzo Lefebvre who's got the ball on the spot. Beginning his run up now, up against the goalkeeper. Oh my word, he's trying to Panenka and the keeper's just stood there and caught it above his head. Embarrassing! Brentford 1, Sunderland 0.
Edwards, Lucas Pires, just wide. It was nearly 2. As the ball was played back to the Burnley left back inside the penalty area. Smart shot across the face of Loman's goal and only just wide over the far post. Mickey's views on that in a moment. Goal at St James's Park for Steve Harmison.
And it's Brendan Aronson with a goal. It's Leeds, Newcastle 0, Leeds 1. A mistake from Malik Chow, 20 yards out. Let in Aronson, who just shifted it out his feet, found the bottom left-hand corner. Nick Pope, no chance. Aronson's been brilliant in a poor game so far. Newcastle 0, Leeds 1.
2-2 for Aronson, the first goal he's ever scored away from home in the Premier League. There's also been a goal at Fulham for Will Hobbs.
Fulham 1, Chelsea 0. Raul Jimenez with an authoritative header, cross curled in from the right hand side, and Jimenez leapt highest to score. Fulham 1, Chelsea 0.
6 of the season for Raul Jimenez, for the Fulham side unbeaten in 4 against the Chelsea side who've only won 2 of their last 10. You're listening to Burnley against Man United on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. And it's going to be a free kick which will be taken over on the Manchester United right. Dalot just working back inside his own half for Aidan Heaven. Back for Heaven again, and Heaven will turn it all the way back to Senna Lomans. Lomans taking in touch and then firing it left-footed forward through the midfield. Šeško down towards Bruno. Bruno to Dalot. Casemiro turning it forward. Not a great ball. Šeško tried to make something of it, but Stev, who's had a fine season at the heart of the Burnley defence, was there to knock it away. And now Josh Laurent has it down towards Kyle Walker. Walker playing the ball forward. It comes off Dorgu and goes out for a throw that will be taken on the Burnley right. 1-0. They've led for the last 20 minutes, not too far away from being 2-0 up moments ago. Let's go back to the Vitality. Here's Talksport's Alex Crook.
An hour gone, it's still Bournemouth 2, Tottenham 1, but Lucas Bergvall has left the pitch for Tottenham almost in tears. Looks like he suffered a recurrence of the groin injury that ruled him out recently. So the injury problems mounting for Thomas Frank, already without Mohamed Kudus, and now Bergvall forced off as well. Bournemouth 2, Spurs 1.
And here it's Burnley 1, Manchester United. There was a great move down the Burnley left. Mickey Gray and Lucas Pires with a fine shot that was very close.
Well, they're fortunate, Man United, that the game's still 1-0. Perez, he's done everything right. He's kept it low. It's just missed the far post. I'm looking for the signs of change from Manchester United, and the only one I can tell you about, Jim, is the system, because I've not seen any positives that I can shout about. Centre forwards giving the ball away, midfielders giving the ball away.
Cunha's won it back here, though, in towards Casemiro, but again, Stev is there to be able to knock it away. And he's done better than that. He's found Marcus Edwards. Edwards has got Walker making a good run to his right-hand side, and he's played him in. He's got a lot of space to attack here, Walker. Played back on the edge of the penalty area. Edwards coming forward again in the central tranche of the pitch. And then Hannibal Mejbri, was he caught? The referee says no. No real complaints from the Tunisian. And that'll be cleared relatively easily by Luke Shaw. It's gone back for Lomans, actually, under pressure from Breuer. Shaw can get it away. Another goal at the Etihad for Talksport's John Dunn.
Manchester City 1, Brighton 1. Karo Mitoma is the goal scorer. City have dominated, but they gave possession away right of the half of the field. Moved to Kitoma on the left-hand side. Right-footed shot into the bottom corner. Man City 1, Brighton 1.
Will it be a third draw in a row for Manchester City? It'll be music to the ears of Arsenal, who are in action tomorrow on Talksport as they take on Liverpool in a game that kicks off at 8. Don't forget, this weekend's FA Cup third round action, a live exclusive game that you can't hear anywhere else, is from Old Trafford. Manchester United against Brighton kicks off at 4:30 on Sunday. For their part, Burnley in action on Saturday, and Adrian is round the ground Saturday afternoon. Burnley at home to Millwall, and we'll have all the news as it happens from here at Turf Moor. And then don't forget, in 10 days' time, Manchester United, Manchester City, the small matter of the Manchester derby, exclusive to Talksport, 12:30 a week on Saturday. Another goal at St James's Park. Steve Harmison.
This game has woken up. It's Newcastle 1, Leeds 1. It's Harvey Barnes. Good work between Gordon Walter-Mata, laid it off to Barnes, 8 yards out, who just side foots it into the bottom corner. A goal that Harvey Barnes has deserved. Both Aronson and Barnes have been the shining light in what has been a dull game so far. Newcastle 1, Leeds 1.
8th of the season for Barnes. Here it's currently Burnley 1, Manchester United 0. For the latest odds, head to Ladbrokes. Right now you can get Burnley at 13 to 10. The draw 21 to 10, same price, 21 to 10 for United to win. And that's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. We're 8 minutes from half time. The Heaven own goal was nearly 25 minutes ago, and there haven't been that many opportunities for United to get back on level terms. Just that Cunha header that was brilliantly cleared off the line by Bashir Humphreys. Dorgu making his way forward now. Šeško trying to get free in the middle. Laurent blocked the cross. Another goal at the G-Tech. Ian Abrahams.
Brentford 2, Sunderland 0. The phase penalty miss, embarrassing as it was, has been punished by Igor Thiago. Ball across the area, and he's grabbed his second of the night. 3 at the weekend. Man's on fire. It's Brentford 2, Sunderland 0.
Fernandes with the ball inside the penalty area here. It might break on the edge of the box for Cunha. And Lucas Pires puts his left foot through it and rifles it upfield to get it to safety for Burnley.
Well, they're just throwing their bodies on the line whenever they need to. Burnley defenders clearing their lines. Yes, there's a bit of panic at the back when Šeško leaps above his marker, but he doesn't really make good contact with it. The second ball that comes in is not quality.
Dorgu flashes a ball through the penalty area that was missed by 2 or 3, but Lucas Pires is going to be able to get there ahead of Cunha. And he's very neatly under pressure from the Brazilian, just been able to turn it back. The Bashir Humphreys. Now Burnley can get it away again, only temporarily. And Stuart Atwell will make their job a little bit easier. He spotted a foul over on that far touchline. And has given a free kick to Burnley about 10-12 yards inside their own half. Burnley 1, United 0, 6.5 minutes to go to half time. Now, they've had this disappointing recent run, United, 13 points from the last 8 games, but that includes draws against 4 of the bottom 6.
Well, I think it all boils down to, Jim, they're just lacking quality, lacking confidence. They obviously weren't happy with the system they were playing. They're not creating the chances to put the ball in the back of the net. And I think you look at Benjamin Šeško tonight. I've seen his performance now for 39 minutes. He doesn't look like a Manchester United player. He looks lost. Press conference yesterday, Darren Fletcher says, I don't really know him too well. I need to have a conversation with him. I just wonder how that chat's went. Look, he's playing tonight. But a centre-forward, if he's not scoring goals, you look at the rest of his performance. Is he running off people? No, he hasn't done that tonight. Is he holding the ball up well? Well, no, he's giving the ball away. And if you want an outlet, Benjamin Šeško is your outlet. And I just think that boils down to this really poor performance from Manchester United in this first half.
I was back underway. Broyer's okay, having received no treatment. He's able to continue. Has made his way forward. Burnley launching it forward, win a throw, which they'll take over on the far touchline there left as they kick from left to right in their claret shirts and white shorts. Just going back to Šeško, without a goal in 11 for club and country. Won't have had too many streaks like that in his senior career. He was scoring goals for fun at one stage. Very likeable character, I'm led to believe. Wonder whether he's a little bit too nice. Maybe it is just playing on him. I'm only speculating there. Walker's given it away. Dorgu's won it back. Dorgu releases Šeško now. Tries the right-footed shot, curved it past Humphreys, but Dubravka was able to get down and make a very comfortable save. Well, he's bowled it out towards Hannibal Mejbri, and Burnley on the front foot again. Space on the right-hand side of Josh Laurent making his way forward. Mejbri has been fouled. Then gets a yellow card for dissent, I think. And the free kick has gone the other way. He went down, Hannibal Mejbri. Casemiro trying to make the challenge. Bruno Fernandes just came in. Was there a slight push? Was he sandwiched between the two Manchester United players? He went down right in front of the referee, who's booked him for diving.
Yeah, well, it's the right call, Jim. Hate to see it. Hate players going down when there's no contact. You can see Bruno Fernandes was very frustrated, had a little go with the referee.
It's Heaven making his way forward now for United, and his cross doesn't quite find Cunha. Cleared. Bruno Fernandes back for Casemiro. And the Brazilian to Shaw. Shaw's left-footed ball in. Nice shape on it, didn't quite have the height. Then Ugarte with a right-footed effort that's deflected away. Breuer loops up. Dubravka can come out and catch it. And it's still 1-0 to Burnley with 3.5 minutes to go to half-time. It's been another goal at Hill Dickinson, an equaliser for Wolves, man.
And it has been coming. Everton 1, Wolves 1. It's Matthias Mane who's got it. He scored against West Ham at the weekend. He's got another tonight. It's a long ball forward. It's flicked on to Mane, and he just brilliantly runs onto it. He beats his man to get the ball into the D and then slots past Pickford. Everton 1, Wolves 1.
He's going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
He is tremendous.
What a player.
1-1 there. I'll run through all the scores for you in a moment as Man United work it forward here for the runner. Patrick Dorgu on the left-hand side. He's near the edge of the Burnley penalty area. He lays it back for Ugarte. Ugarte square to Casemiro. Casemiro to Dalot. Couldn't you try to find space? They found Šeško, and Dubravka has produced a wonderful save. That was much better from United. Good header from Šeško. Maybe didn't quite get the power in it that he wanted. He was arrowing towards the top right-hand corner. Dubravka just took a step back to his left-hand side, threw up a hand and was able to divert the goal-bound header away over the top right-hand corner of his goal and out for a corner.
Well, he looked like a striker there, didn't he? We're trying to get past the ex-Manchester United goalkeeper Dubravka. Very good header.
In comes the corner. It's United second. Casemiro is there. Dubravka heads it away. Punches it away, I beg your pardon. Dorgu back out to Luke Shaw. Left-footed ball clipped in again. Šeško was just underneath that and made a run towards the far post. It took a nick off a Burnley player on its way through and out for a corner, which Bruno Fernandes will take on the Manchester United left. 90 seconds to go to the break. Burnley 1, United 0. Fernandes raises his right arm above his head. He takes this corner. It is very deep, looking for that Casemiro header that they love back through the 6-yard box. Wasn't quite forthcoming that time. Walker's cleared the ball. Looked as though it was over the line and out of play for another corner, but wasn't given. And everybody looking at the assistant referee just to get his flag down and said no. Casemiro, here's Ugarte! That was close. Should have been closer. Casemiro chesting it down. Ugarte swivelling, hitting a right-footed half volley from the edge of the penalty area that's gone just wide of the left-hand post.
Yeah, great opportunity there for Ugarte. Maybe fell to the wrong player. A little bit of sustained pressure now from Manchester United. Looking more of a threat coming towards that half-time whistle, Jim. But I think overall, performance-wise, you're looking at around about 3 out of 10.
And yet they could be 2-1 up. I know that could have been a different story. Dubravka will say that he's paid to make saves like that. Bashir Humphrey's goal line clearance was world class. Lucas Perez at the other end beat Lomans, but just beat the post as well. He certainly couldn't make a case for United deserving to be ahead at this stage. It's been a much better Burnley performance than we've seen from them latterly. It's certainly a performance that belies the current run they're on. Remember, if they don't win here, it'll be a club record equaling 12 without a win in the Premier League. Here's Lisandro Martinez, the Casemiro, just about to go into 2 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. As another goal goes in, the G-Tech, Ian Abrahams.
Brentford 3, Sunderland 0, corner to the far post, and it was slammed in the end by Yarmouk. Brentford have won again. Brentford 3, Sunderland 0.
And that'll be a fourth in 5 games for Keith Andrews' men, making real headway in the top half of the table now. 30 seconds into the first of the 2 additional minutes. Ball at the feet of Leslie Ugochukwu for Burnley. Back heel flick from Florentino was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Cunha seizing upon it, gets a left-footed shot in, but Dubravka can spare Florentino's blushes by making a save, diving to his right-hand side.
Well, he's very fortunate. Florentino tried to be a little bit smart there with the back heel, not knowing what players were around him. And the last person he wanted to fall to was Matheus Cunha. Got that goal at Leeds United, but on his weaker left foot, he kept it low. But as you mentioned, Jim, Dubravka, he's been in the right place at the right time when he's needed to be.
United coming forward again. Martinez some 20, 30 yards. Bruno Fernandes telling Dorgu to make the run. He's made that run. It's another goal line clearance as Dorgu flicked the ball in past Dubravka, and it was a step sliding in on the line, managed to get it away. That's two that they've had cleared off the line by defenders in this first half, United.
Well, the movements now, it's improved. It's a lot better from Manchester United. Dorgu's getting himself forward. You see Dallow on the other side. Two incredible clearances from Bashir Humphries, and this time Maxime Esteve.
In comes the corner from Fernandes, headed away. Straight back to him. Right-footed, a deeper delivery. It's half cleared, falls for Ugarte. And he had a Burnley player just coming out and closing him down quickly. And that was enough to see him snatch at a shot, and it's come off the outside of his right boot and wide. A good link-up play between Fernandes and Dorgu. He indicated with his right hand exactly where he wanted him to make the run. And Dorgu, a little bit on his heels, eventually got there. The weight of the pass was perfect. It was a decent shot in all fairness, but it's a great clearance from Esteve.
Yeah, it's incredible. Look, I mean, at one end, it's about putting the ball in the back of the net, and Bashir Humphries was involved in that hugely with a big deflection. But at the other end as well, clear off the line. Superb.
45 minutes into his managerial career, Darren Fletcher has got a tough half-time team talk to deliver. Burnley leading Manchester United by a goal to nil. And Bashir Humphries, left-footed cross from the inside left channel, was deflected into his own net by Aidan Heaven. Lucas Pires could have made it two, but Dubravka's made one save, and there have been two superb goal line clearances at the other end. Burnley will feel that they just about deserve the lead. United certainly don't deserve to be ahead, but might have been. Half-time, it's Burnley 1, United 0.
Big night of Premier League football on the Talksport network. Let me tell you that as it stands in the Premier League right now, Brentford are 5th in the table. They're above Chelsea, they're above Manchester United, only a point behind Liverpool as things stand. Those scores elsewhere: Bournemouth 2, Spurs 1, Brentford 3, Sunderland 0 at 1-0. Enzo Lefebvre with one of the worst penalties you'll ever see. Palace 0, Villa 0, Everton 1, Wolves 1, Fulham 1, 10-man Chelsea 0, Man City 1, Brighton 1, Burnley here leading Manchester United by a goal to nil, and Newcastle 1, Leeds United 1, also an 8:15 kickoff. We'll keep you up to date with the goals as they go in. We'll go to Newcastle very shortly as well. But let's answer those three questions. Mickey Gray, we talked about what shape Darren Fletcher will employ, and he's employed a 4 at the back. Can he get Sesko scoring? Not yet. Can they keep a clean sheet? No, is the answer.
Adrian, I just thought it took them about 35 minutes to get going in that first half. Yes, they showed a lot of pressure at the end of that first 45 minutes, but it's the flow of the football. I can't understand why Cunha's playing right-hand side and Dorgu's playing on the left of the three guys up front. And as I mentioned, Benjamin Sesko's hold-up play has to be better. Look, he's had 3 very good opportunities in that first half. One fell to his right foot, which I think he rushed a little bit. He had a little bit more time on his hands. He was just hoping to hit the target. 2 headers, the second of which was a very good header. He tried to guide it into the top corner. Super save by Dubravka. And those 2, that got cleared off the line from Burnley. But Burnley had their opportunities in the first 30-35 minutes of this game. They controlled possession. They were getting it behind the midfield a little bit too easy for my liking from a Manchester United perspective. But I think as the half went on, you could see they were improving Manchester United, and I'm sure in the second half we're hoping for a little bit more. But Burnley, when you think about their home record, that first half was very good from them, I have to say.
We've got a goal late in the first half at St James Park. Steve Harmison.
It's Newcastle 1, Leeds 2, and it's a penalty from Dominic Calvert-Lewin. The ball came into the box, and as Calvert-Lewin and Malik Chow, who's already been yellow carded, were going towards the ball, Chow was trying to head the ball, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin just leaned into him, and as he's leaned into him, off balance Chow, it's hit him on the forearm, and the referee Michael Salisbury has pointed to the spot as Joe Linton goes down. Oh, Newcastle are very, very frustrated with this, the referee Michael Salisbury, but Joe Linton goes into the box and I think gets struck, who's come towards him, and all of a sudden Joe Linton's gone down. Newcastle fans, the Gallagher end up desperate for a penalty, and the referee Michael Salisbury said simulation, it's a dive, and he's yellow carded the big Brazilian. And as it is at this moment in time, Adrian, it's Newcastle 1, Leeds 2.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin scoring again, an Englishman with a goal, and an Englishman with a goal at Craven Cottage as well. Will Hobbs.
Fulham 1, 10-man Chelsea 1, corner swung in, Robinson's header flicked off the crossbar and fell to a gleeful Liam Delap, who helped it in. A golden chance 10 minutes before for Delap, 1-on-1 with Leno before he couldn't lift it over the German. Palmer and Caicedo also 4 saves. Raul Jimenez opened the scoring with his sumptuous header on 54 minutes. An end-to-end second half despite Cucurella's red. Fulham 1, 10-man Chelsea 1.
Quick trip to the Vitality, Alex Crook.
It's still Bournemouth 2, Tottenham 1. You are embarrassing, the Bournemouth fans were singing to Mickey van der Ven. I have to say, I agree with them. He dived trying to win a penalty after a brilliant run. Oh, and they've just equalised. That is a stunning overhead kick from João Paulinho from a corner. Spurs back on level terms minutes after being awarded a penalty for an alleged foul by James Hill on Mickey van der Ven. Replays clearly showed the Tottenham defender dived. The decision was overturned following a VAR review. Van der Ven booked for his troubles, but Spurs are level with 12 minutes to go, and that is a brilliant overhead kick from João Paulinho. Bournemouth 2, Tottenham 2.
Goals as they go in on Talksport, and it's half-time. Whistle's just gone. Back at Newcastle, Steve Armisen.
It's Newcastle 1, Leeds 2, and the whistles are from the crowd for Michael Salisbury, who's coming off the field now with his 2 assistants. And Newcastle conceded a penalty right at the end there. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with his 9th goal of the season. And this game really, on a cold night at St James's, didn't really liven up until on the half an hour mark, when Leeds took the lead through a mistake from Malik Chow, 20 yards out. Aronson, who's been really lively, capitalised on that. He just lifted his head up, shifted it onto his right foot and found the bottom left-hand corner. 6 minutes later, Newcastle went up the field. A speculative ball into the box just fell to Harvey Barnes, who played it into Anthony Gordon. Gordon found Walter Mara. Barnes followed his run, and then he slipped it in from 6 yards out into the bottom left-hand corner. And then right in injury time, we've had 2 penalty shouts. One given, one yellow-carded for Joe Linton for simulation, but the one for Calvert-Lewin. Coming together with Malik Chow. Malik Chow was deemed to handle the ball. The ball did hit his arm, but was Calvert-Lewin leaning into him? The referee said penalty. VAR confirmed it was a penalty, and Calvert-Lewin made no mistake from the spot. Newcastle 1, Leeds 2.
And let's talk about the goal here at Turf Moor, Mickey Gray, because you might look at it and say, well, they're unlucky. Aidan Heaven's unlucky, but there's a bit more to it because Casemiro was asleep in the build-up, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did, and I touched on it, I think, in midfield, but they've just drifted by them too quickly in the whole of that first half, Burnley, and he just switched off. As a midfield player, your coach says to you, make sure you stay with your runners. Well, he just drifted in behind him, a little give and go, and when he got himself into the 18-yard area, he was looking around for his centre-halves. Well, they weren't there, and the deflection came from Bashir Humphreys. He did everything right, just trying to whip it towards that 6-yard area, and the deflections took it over the goalkeeper. And I have to say, Edwin, at the time, they deserved to be in front.
They did, and they are still in front at half-time. And after that goal, the director of football, Jason Wilcox, the chief exec of Man United, Omar Barada, slumped in their seats, faces half hidden by big coats and scarves. I think they wanted to sink those heads into those scarves and coats and just not be seen, because it's not worked in this first half. Little signs from Man United, but not good enough. 1-0 to Burnley at half-time. Now we've got a red card. I think it's at Selhurst Park. Charlotte Richardson. At the Hill Dickinson, rather. Matt Jones.
Yeah, it's Everton 1, Wolves 1. Michael Keane has been sent off. I've watched the replay 10, 15 times. I've got no idea what he's done wrong here. He comes into a challenge with a Rockadair. A Rockadair actually, I think, catches Keane with his back swing on his arm. It's a natural movement. I don't think a Rockadair does anything wrong. But the referee is sent over to the screen. Our referee today is Tom Kirk. It's only his second Premier League game. The VAR officials must have 20, 25 looks at it before they decide what to do. I thought they were looking at a Rockadair for a potential elbow on Keane, because Keane's behind the Rockadair. As it turns out, not. They've given Keane a red card because he slightly puts his knee into the back of a Rockadair as a Rockadair falls to the ground. Keane's gone. The Everton fans are fuming. So's Moyes. He's about to get booked. Everton 1, Wolves 1.
VAR is not having the greatest week, is it? Witness what happened at West Ham last night. We haven't got time to discuss that. Half-time here at Turf Moor, live and exclusive on Talksport. Manchester United under Darren Fletcher with work to do. It's Burnley 1, Manchester United 0.
Kick-off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. 18plusgambleaware.org.
Hi, just leaving work now. Sorry it's a bit loud. Basically, so I was thinking we could get Mackies tonight. Had a Big Mac on my mind all day, and delivery fee on the app is now from 99p. So, you in? Of course you are. Ha, love you. Bye.
Exclusively on the McDonald's app. 18 plus. Service fee and small order fee may apply. Participating restaurants. Serving times and T's and C's apply.
The beautiful game doesn't stop at the final whistle, and neither does the sun.co.uk. So you can go beyond the last kick with expert insight into the big moments and in-depth analysis of tactics, plus the latest breaking news and exclusives. And you can get it whenever and wherever you want it. To keep up with every kick, just head to thesun.co.uk. It's unbeatable.
Imagine a place where you can escape for a day. Get immersed in a world of rooms, inspiration and expertise, where you can laze in luxury accommodation. And kids can feast from 95 pence. Tickets are free to everyone and include all the attractions. You've just imagined a day out at IKEA. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue, unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there! His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result! Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in! Find out more at villagehotels.com.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning!
The kids building a tree, playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Sir Mo Farah is still getting to grips with things.
So, Mo, with Sprint Delivery, we get the order to them in as little as 20 minutes. Okay? Mo?
Mo? Done. He was on the 18th floor.
Nice work. But, you know we use delivery riders, right?
Oh, now you tell me.
Sprint it in as little as 20 minutes. Screwfix. No stopping you. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply.
At Betfair, we believe that to play different, you need the right tools. The boots, the world-class tactics, the science-backed nutrition. The pros have their tools, and with Betfair, so do you. Our safer gambling tools work just like the right pair of boots, designed to keep you on top of your game. Open the Betfair app to equip yourself so you can bet at your best. Betfair. Play different.
18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Kick off live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Well, there's a late goal at Craven Cottage. Is it a late winner, Will Hobbs?
It may well be, Adrian. Fulham 2, Chelsea 1. That man, Harry Wilson, with his 10th shot on target. Smith Rowe's cross was brilliantly palmed away by Sanchez from the path of Jimenez. Harry Wilson following up, took one touch away from Hato and mullered the perfect half volley, a cross goal into the bottom corner with a little flick off Reece James. Chelsea were back in it after Liam Delap's equaliser following Jimenez's opener. But could that be the death knell for McFarlane and maybe Rossignol if it is his first game in charge? It's Fulham 2, Chelsea 1.
What a season for Harry Wilson. Can Wales capitalise on that as well? Here at Turf Moor, Burnley 1, Man United. Now let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Yeah, Burnley 1 up and they're 6-5 to complete the win. United are 12-5 to come back and win it, and the draw is 19-10. It's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Right, let's go back to Everton and clear up that Michael Keane red card. Matt Jones.
Yeah, Everton 1, Wolves 1, a minute to go. Keane sent off, and it looks like he's been given a red card for a slight hair pull on a Rocadare as they both challenge for the ball together. There has been an official statement now by the PL Match Centre who say he has gone for violent conduct and he will now face a 3-match ban. Everton 1, Wolves 1.
Yeah, pulling hair, not great. Let's go to Selhurst Park. Latest there, Charlotte Richardson.
Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 0. Plenty of endeavour, just no real end product. The closest we've come to a goal was when a wicked ball was whipped into the area. Ollie Watkins' header looked like it might creep beyond the outstretched palm of the goalkeeper. It feels the kind of contest, if one team can do just enough to break the deadlock, it would be enough this late on to seal 3 massive points. It's Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 0.
I said earlier, Man City messing around, not applying themselves. Are they serious in this title race? The Etihad, John Dunn.
Final 3 minutes of normal time. Manchester City 1, Brighton 1. City loads of possession, but haven't capitalised on Erling Haaland's first half penalty. Mitoma equalising for Brighton. That sparked them into life. Some dangerous balls going into the area. Great work by Mitoma. Slipped one into Diego Gomez. Just 2 yards out, just slightly behind him, so couldn't get decent contact. City have woken up. Erling Haaland with 3 efforts. A glancing header cleared off the line by Kodioglu. Then 10 yards out, he hits a shot straight at Verbruggen after Brighton overplayed in the area. Turn and shot from the left of the box into the side netting, and a moment ago, golden opportunity. Doku sliding the ball into Cherki just inside the penalty area, unmarked. Somehow he set the ball over the bar. Here's Bernardo Silva, shot wide. Manchester City 1, Brighton 1.
Another red back at Everton, Matt Jones.
Yeah, Everton down to 9 men. It's Jack Grealish who's gone. Everton 1, Wolves 1, by the way. I think it's for dissent, this one, for Grealish. There wasn't a foul, certainly, but it's something he said. 9 minutes of added time signalled. And Everton, well, with 9 men, they're in a bit of trouble here. Everton 1, Wolves 1.
You can hear the end of that on the Talksport app. Just go to live games, bottom right. It'll direct you to the game you want. Bournemouth 2, Spurs 2. That's live on the app. Brentford 3, Sunderland 0. Brentford are 5th in the live Premier League table. That's on the Talksport app. Palace 0, Villa 0 is on Talk Radio. Everton down to 9 men, 1 apiece with bottom of the table Wolves is on the Talksport app. Fulham 2, 10-man Chelsea 1. Live on Talksport 2 right now. Man City 1, Brighton 1 is live on the app. Here at Turf Moor, players on the way out for the second half. Burnley 1, Manchester United 0 is live on TalkSport and also on the app. Second half to come of Newcastle 1, Leeds United 2. And that also kicked off at 8:15. Darren Fletcher's had a half-time team talk. What has he said to his Manchester United players, and can they turn it around in the second half? Live and exclusive and only on TalkSport, it's Burnley 1, Manchester United 0. Here's Mickey Gray and Jim Proudfoot.
Well, he's walking down the touchline, Darren Fletcher, from the corner on the top right-hand corner of the pitch as we look at it. And walking from the tunnel down that touchline, chewing at his lip. He's walking with a real purpose as he makes his way in his black coat and takes his seat now. He knows that there has to be improvement, notwithstanding the fact that Manchester United did create those last opportunities in the final 10 minutes of that half. They trail to Burnley by a goal to nil. We are back underway. United in their change kit, white shirts. They're kicking from left to right in this second half, attacking the end of the ground that houses the away fans. Burnley in their famous claret shirts with the white numbering and white shorts, kicking from right to left towards the Jimmy McIlroy stand. Ball out of play for a throw, which Burnley will take. No changes at half-time. Throw down towards the corner flag. Hannibal Mejri putting the pressure on. United are able to clear. Laurent will find Esteve. Esteve goes back for his goalkeeper, Dubravka. He's got a back three in front of him. Laurent, Esteve and Humphreys. Then it's Walker, Ukachukwu, Florentino and Lucas Perez with Mejbri and Edwards and Breuer. He's having one of those nights that he's glad he's not getting paid by the touch, but he is playing up front, leading the line for Burnley. Man United, Lummons in goal. Dallo, Heaven, Martinez and Shaw. Casemiro, Ugarte, Cunha, Fernandes and Dorgu and Šeško. And they haven't swapped the Man United wingers round as you were hoping that they would, Mickey.
Well, they haven't, Jim, but I'd see Mateus Cunha's now playing more centrally. I think Bruno Fernandes has drifted a little bit more over to this right-hand side. That could change as the second half progresses, but just that's the only thing I can really change. And what I did notice at half-time, not one Man United substitute came out to warm up, so I wasn't expecting any changes. Look, he could have made a couple. Mason Mount, we know, on the bench, and I'm sure he's going to play some part tonight, whether it's the last 10 or 15 minutes, but they need it. Yeah, they need to start taking control of this football match.
Dorgu coming forward. It's Ricochet back into his path, almost flicked off towards Šeško. Dorgu has it now, unleashes, and Carl Walker's in the way to block. And Ricochet's out of play for a throw. The tail of the tape in the first half. Possession nearly 70-30 in United's favour. 12 shots to 2. They had all 6 on target, and yet they trail 1-0 to that Aiden Heaven own goal.
Yeah, it paints a picture, Jim, doesn't it? But I think, they just never really looked in control. 2 cleared off the line and a couple of other really good chances. But other than that, Burnley have looked quite comfortable.
Dallow's given it away with a poor ball through the midfield. Ugachukwu to his right-hand side. Edwards then returns the gift and passes it straight to Lisandro Martinez. He was under pressure, turned down a cul-de-sac and swiveled and hit a quick ball down towards the right-hand side. Painting by numbers, he was just hoping that he hit somebody, and it just went straight out of play for a throw that Burnley take on their left-hand side. 3 minutes into the second period here at Turf Moor. The lights of the Lancashire Hills are visible over behind the low squat stand over on the far side from us. There's just a little bit of twinkle in those lights tonight, with Burnley leading by a goal to nil. It will be only their third win in 20 if they hold on, but there is a long way to go. It has finished at Selhurst Park. Here's Talksport Charlotte Richardson.
Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 0. Neither side doing enough to wrestle control to break the deadlock. Ollie Watkins with a strong chance in each half, and on his home debut, Brennan Johnson denied by a fine save. It finishes Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 0.
Charlotte, thank you. The ball cleared down the left-hand side of the Burnley penalty area. Hannibal Mejbri can't keep it in, so out for a throw. Aiden Heaven picking up a yellow ball off a white cone, handing it to Diogo Dallo. The throw taken quite quickly. United trying to improve their intensity, play at a greater tempo than they did in the first half. Heaven has it again. Plays it back for Lommans, who takes a touch and gets it out towards Lisandro Martinez. Just 1 win in 5 for United, which came against Newcastle. Only 1 defeat in 8. If the glass is half full for you as a United fan, that was against Villa. The ball played in here by Bruno Fernandes is cleared. He's then won it back from Ugachukwu and played out of the left-hand side. Luke Shaw's got it. Late goal of the Vitality. Who's going to be winning it? Alex Crook.
Bournemouth 3, Tottenham 2, deep into stoppage time, and guess who? It's the departing Antoine Semenyo with the perfect farewell gift. It's a right-footed effort from just outside the penalty area, driven into the far corner. A brilliant strike for the man who is bound for a big money move to Manchester City, has his medical tomorrow. What a way to bow out. Bournemouth 3, Tottenham 2.
And Benjamin Šeško equalises for Manchester United here at Turf Moor as Fernandes slips it in down the right-hand side of the penalty area, and Šeško turned and hit it right-footed across the face of Dubravka, and Manchester United are back on level terms. It's 1-1.
That's so much better from United. You can see the intent now when they do break forward, but just the movement. Mateus Cunha play more centrally, but Benjamin Šeško just gets away from his marker. You know that Bruno Fernandes is not going to let you down if he can see that pass in between the two centre-halves, and first time with his right foot gives Dubravka absolutely no chance. That's a wonderful finish.
Šeško with the goal. It's his first in 12 for club and country. And 6 minutes into the second half, Manchester United are back on level terms. Equalising the own goal from Aiden Heaven. They've trailed for nearly 40 minutes of this game, but they'll look the more likely winners now, playing with just a little bit more intent at the beginning of this second half.
Yeah, they are, Jimmy. And you can see what Burnley have come out, and it's quite strange because they're sitting back and trying to hang on to a goal lead. Well, you can't do that. with so much time left on the clock, and United now have got their tails up and looking really confident.
Luke Shaw can bring the ball forward here for Manchester United. It's all over at the G-Tech. Ian Abrahams.
Brentford 3, Sunderland 0. Igor Thiago rounded the goalkeeper to put Brentford 1 up after half an hour. They all set the crossbar in the first half. And when he headed his second, midway through the second half, his 16th of the season, no Brazilians ever scored more. Brentford had the points wrapped up, especially as Lefebvre before that had chipped a penalty into the arms of Kelleher. Yarmouth wrapped it all up with 17 to go. Brentford all set the post twice, and they're 5th, a point off the Champions League. Brentford 3, Sunderland 0.
Full time at the Etihad, John Dunn.
Manchester City 1, Brighton 1. Erling Haaland scoring the first half penalties, 150th for the club, and despite City's possession, they couldn't build on it. Mitoma equalising against a run of play on the hour, a neatly placed finish. City had the chances to win this one. Haaland's header cleared off the line. Cherki should have done better, unmarked from the edge of the area. City have drawn their last 3 and don't close the gap on Arsenal. Manchester City 1, Brighton 1.
5 points behind Arsenal, and they played an extra game. Tomorrow Arsenal take on Liverpool. It's live on Talksport from 8. Here's Breuer inside the United penalty area, and he's won a corner.
Yeah, he's done really well, Armando Broja. Burnley's best move of the second half. He's got 4 United players around him, and he just tricks his way into the 18-yard area, eventually winning a corner. They needed that. They need to get themselves back to the performance they showed in that first 45 minutes.
So Arsenal tomorrow night at home to Liverpool. If they win, they will be 8 points clear of the field with 17 games to go. At the top is Arsenal 48 from 20, City 43 from 21, Villa 43 from 21, and 4th place Liverpool 34 from 20. Brentford, as things stand right now, up to 5th. Although if United win this, they will go above them. Corner to be taken on the Burnley left. 1-1 the score here at Turf Moor. Mesbury stands motionless now, runs up, hits it right-footed, curved inside the 6-yard box. Dorgu can head it away, sprint after that header himself, and try and set up a counter-attack. As United bring him forward, it's 5 against 4. Ugarte, flick forward for Šeško. He's inside the Burnley penalty area under immediate pressure from Esteve, who's forced to come across and concede the corner himself.
Well, it's a great counter move from Manchester United down the left-hand side. Benjamin Šeško, it looked like he'd stopped Jim as if he felt he was in an offside position. He wasn't. And Ugarte eventually ran onto the ball, and Šeško's won something. They've got a corner out of it, United, but that was a lot better. The break was very quick.
It's finished 1-1 at Everton. We'll get details in a moment. Corner to United that they'll take on their left. Congested 6-yard box. Shaw standing right in front of the goalkeeper, denying him any room as Steb heads it away. Comes back out the box for Cunha. Cunha to the left-hand side, another opportunity to deliver. That one volleyed away by Breuer. Back outside the penalty area before a right-footed curler from Cunha goes over the bar into the United supporters. Let's get those full-time details from Hill Dickinson, Matt Jones.
Everton 1, Wolves 1, real game of 2 halves. Everton dominated the first and took the lead in the 17th minute. Keane converting from Irabunam's scuffed shot, but Wolves much better after the break, after they brought Andre on at half-time. They equalised with 69 gone. Mane released and firing past Pickford from just outside the area, and then chaos in the final 5 or so minutes. Grealish sent off for 2 yellows, the second for dissent in quick succession, and Keane getting a straight red for a hair pull on a Rocadare. It finishes Everton 1, Wolves 1.
And Bruno Fernandes has just had a great chance whilst we were hearing from Matt Jones.
What a strike, Bruno Fernandes. Great ball over the top from Lisandro Martinez. Bruno's ran onto it. His first touch is beautiful, sets him up. Can he go across the goalkeeper? He's rushed a little bit, but he still gets his strike away. So close to turning this game on its head.
You're listening to Burnley against Man United on Talksport with Sky Sports. Don't forget that with Now, you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly. Like Burnley Man United live right now. Search Now Sports. Full-time at Craven Cottage, Will Hobbs.
Fulham 2, 10-man Chelsea 1. Fulham level on points with Chelsea now after Raul Jimenez and Harry Wilson got the goals either side of Liam Delap's equaliser. A 9th red card of the season for the Blues saw Cucurella depart after 20. Fulham unbeaten in the last 6. It's 1 win in 9 for Chelsea, who are now Liam Rosenior's problem to solve as it ends. Fulham 2, Chelsea 1.
Another Man United corner here at Turf Moor. 1-1 the score. Corner that will be taken on the left flank. Jayden Anthony's going to be coming on in a moment for Burnley, just being readied. It may well be Hannibal that comes off. United have got 6 inside the penalty area to attack this. Casemiro, the deepest of those, peeling round the back. It's into his flight path again. And it was Heaven, in fact, and nipped in front of him and headed it wide. He was 3 yards out. And he should have scored.
You're right, Jim. He's got to score. It's a free header from 3 yards out. Just keeps his marker away from him. Does he close his eyes? He just tries to angle it into the corner. All he had to do was make contact and hit the target. Dubravka is in no man's land. What a huge opportunity.
Should be 2-1 to Manchester United. They're taking control now. Burnley up against the ropes. It is finished at the Vitality. And Bournemouth have their first win in 12. Alex Crook.
Bournemouth 3, Tottenham 2, a fairy tale farewell for Antoine Semenyo with the winner in the 5th minute of stoppage time. A brilliant shot from outside the penalty area. Spurs took the lead through Tell after 5 minutes. They were 2-1 down at half-time after Evan Nilsson and Krupi had scored. João Paulinho's overhead kick looked to have rescued a point, but it was Manchester City-bound Semenyo who had the final word to pile more pressure on Thomas Frank. Bournemouth 3, Tottenham 2.
How they needed that. Spurs only 1 win in 6 and only 1 away win in their last 8 games in all competitions. Another goal. This one at St James Park. Steve Harmison.
It's Newcastle 2, Leeds 2, and Newcastle needed that. A header from Joe Linton, 6 yards out from a cross from Bruno Guimaraes. It's level things at St James's Park. 8 minutes gone in the second half. It's Newcastle 2, Leeds 2.
Jadon Anthony for Burnley. Good 1-2 between him and Edwards. Clipped inside the United box. It's headed away. Comes back out for Bashir Humphreys. Been tackled by Bruno Fernandes. Cunha chases after the loose ball, but Uga Chukwu is there first. We played 13 minutes of the second half. And it is 1-1 between Burnley and Manchester United. And if you got the Talksport app, you can catch all the action from St James Park. Newcastle 2, Leeds 2. They're about 5 minutes behind us there. Edwards. Here's Lucas Pires. Left-footed looping cross inside the 6-yard box. Comfortably caught by Senna Lomans. 1-1. It feels a very different game now, Mickey Gray.
Yeah, it absolutely does. You can see Manchester United at half-time. You just wonder what Darren Fletcher's actually said to his players. But there's more intent. You know, they're working their socks off. And they've been so good in the second half. That little change of Cunha playing centrally and Bruno Fernandes playing over on this right-hand side, without a doubt, it's worked for Man United.
Diogo Dalot back inside his own half for Heaven. Heaven sent the header wide when he really should have scored in the same goal that he scored the own goal. Šeško! He's done it again! Ball in from the left from Dorgu. Šeško runs onto it, opens up his right foot, fires it in past Dubravka. Ruben Amorim couldn't get a tune out of him. Darren Fletcher can. And the mood music has really changed for Manchester United with 2 in 10 minutes for Benjamin Šeško.
Well, what an absolutely fantastic goal from the perspective of Benjamin Šeško, who came close 3 times in the first half, but the wing play from Patrick Dorgu over on that left-hand side, the little give and go, outpacing Kyle Walker, and he whips a beautiful ball into the area. Šeško again gets in between the 2 centre-halves, and he just guides it into the bottom corner, opens up his ankle, and just plays it into that bottom corner. What a goal, what a turnaround this game has been for Manchester United.
That is a delicious cross from the Manchester United left. Never went more than 3.5, 4 feet off the ground, but just dipped onto the right foot of Šeško as he came onto it. United poised to make a double change. Bruno Fernandes coming off on a night, remember, where he's come back from injury, and he's going to be replaced by Mason Mount, who himself has had weeks on the sidelines. Lenny Yoro on for Aidan Heaven at centre-half, Mickey.
Yeah, just to freshen things up, I wasn't expecting Bruno Fernandes to finish in the 90 minutes. You know, it's all about game time and managing him because of that injuries he's had. Look, he's missed 3 games, but he's been involved in the first goal for Manchester United, setting up Benjamin Šeško. I think he can come off. He can be really proud of his performance, and it just gives Mason Mount some more game time. And he hasn't half turned his career around at Manchester United this season. He's done really well, and that change at the back, we've seen it when Ruben Amorim's been in charge. They like to make changes, so yeah, understandable. just to keep things fresh, but they have been so much better in the second half, Manchester United.
They've only started 5 and 8 games respectively in the Premier League in his 2 seasons at Man United before this one, and Mason Mount started 10, and he's on and in space here, although Casemiro's gone the other way. Šeško on a hat-trick, flicks the ball over the head of Esteve, tries to run onto it, it's nodded down by Esteve, and then Humphreys looks for his goalkeeper when Šeško was between the pair of them. And Humphreys hit it hard enough that it just bounced back off Šeško, who's right behind him. And Burnley get away with it and are able to bring it away. Well, they've only picked up 8 points at home this season. Beat Sunderland, they beat Leeds. They've lost nearly every other game that they've played, and despite leading in this one for 37 minutes, they now trail by 2-1. And if it stays this way, we'll take Man United back into the top 5 in the Premier League, which we do expect will be a Champions League position. I think if you finished 15th last year, albeit that you shouldn't have finished 15th last year, a top 5 finish going up half the length of the table would constitute a half decent season. It would certainly be a platform to build upon. And of course, getting Champions League football next season means that it probably puts you in a slightly different pool for the potential managers that you want when you're looking in the summer. Florentino's got it for Burnley. They work through the back line towards Josh Laurent, and goes out of play off Ugachukwu for a throw that will be taken by Kyle Walker for Burnley. 18 gone in the second half. Over on the Talksport app, it's Newcastle 2, Leeds 2. This one, Burnley 1, Manchester United 2. On a night where we've seen Bournemouth, Brentford and Fulham all win their respective games. There's a defeats for Spurs, Sunderland and Chelsea. Everton ended up with 9 men, held at home by Wolves. Palace 0, Villa 0. Manchester City 1, Brighton 1. Third draw in a row for City, who potentially are going to be losing yet more ground in week 21 of the Premier League season. Another home game that they led and didn't win. Same situation here for Burnley potentially. They led this one and are now trailing, but they have a free kick which is 15 yards outside the penalty area.
They've got to start making these count, Burnley. Been really poor in his second half. Lucas Perez is the player standing over it.
Just clipping it in, left-footed towards the far post. It's taken a little flick off the top of Luke Shaw's blonde head. And goes out of play for a throw which will be taken over on the far touchline. Kyle Walker going across to take that. Just picking up a drier ball from the white cone over on the far touchline rather than the one that the ball boy was preparing to hand him. Is he going to look long? He's got the opportunity to try and drop it short at the feet of Edwards down by the corner flag. Edwards still wandering around, trying to draw Dorgu with him. Walker does throw it inside the penalty area. Not the greatest long throw, didn't really have the distance, and Luke Shaw could head it away. Laurent back towards Lucas Perez, under pressure from Cunha. He was able to get it back for Josh Laurent again. And help forward now. The former Stoke man through the midfield for Marcus Edwards. Edwards dropping his shot, beating Nagate. Still he's got it. Good ball. Jayden Anthony opens it up onto his right foot, cuts back onto his left, fires it in. Dallo got in the way and blocked it. Casemiro tried to toe poke it away. Just a little bit tardy then as Laurent got it back and seemed to walk past Casemiro to the edge of the penalty area. United are able to get it away. Ugachukwu forced to retreat back inside his own half, but this is better from Burnley, as you will be able to gauge from the sentiments of the crowd. Florentino played forward again towards Edwards. It's 10 yards outside the United box. Anthony making a diagonal run from the left wing into the number 9 position, but there was no forthcoming pass. He's got it now with the ball at his feet. Anthony on his left foot. What a finish! Jayden Anthony makes it 2-2. Played into him inside the penalty area. Minimal backlift. He speared one into the top left-hand corner, and Burnley are back on level terms, 2 apiece.
Well, what a difference Jayden Anthony's made since he came onto the field, and what a super strike. He's played on this left-hand side, but he finds himself inside of the 18-yard box, just outside on the right-hand side, and when he chops it onto his weaker left foot, head down, he just whips it into that top corner to give Lamont absolutely no chance. What a super strike to get the home side back on level terms.
Well, he scored 4 goals in the first 6 games this season, but he hadn't netted since. He's ended a 13-game goal drought tonight. United led for only 6 minutes. And midway through the second half, it is Burnley 2, Manchester United 2.
Well, Jim, I have to say, and I'm looking down at Man United now, and you might prove me wrong here, but I think they've gone back to a 5. I know Patrick Dorgu at the moment very high up on the left-hand side, but he has been playing as a left-sided defender, and I don't think it's worked for Manchester United. Burnley have had a bit of sustained pressure. They've got themselves around the edge of the 18-yard area on a couple of occasions, and then now in the ascendancy yet again.
And they'll bring it forward with Breuer trying to bludgeon his way through. He couldn't. The referee's pulled play back for an earlier foul on Edwards, which has given Burnley a free kick, 8 outside the penalty area and only just right of centre. Sports Bar is always a great, entertaining and fascinating listen. It's a long trip home down the M6 for me tonight. I'll be in the company of Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. I'm sure you will be too. And your views on everything that has happened. United fans, what have you made of this real curate's egg of a performance tonight? Been up and down more than the Pennine Hills that we can see over behind the stand on the far side. That Sports Bar with Jamie and Jason at 10:15 tonight. And don't forget the latest episode of How to Win the World Cup, also available tomorrow for your commute to work. It's on the Talksport YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts. And Matt Ford and Paul McCaffrey speaking to former World Cup winner Kleberson about how to manage the expectation of playing for one of the favourites in the World Cup. And we'll also be talking about how England can deal with the expectations this summer in America. We've got all of the games from the World Cup. More than 100 of them over the course of the summer on the TalkSport network. That's all to come. That's a great list. If you haven't heard that podcast, How to Win the World Cup, thoroughly recommend it. 2-2 here at Turf Moor. Don't think the scoring stopped yet. Edwards hoping that he can get his name on the score sheet from this free kick. Dresses the ball, hits it left-footed. The United force-strong wall did its job. Was able to head it away. And the ball comes down to the near touchline, where Florentino almost lost it, but he does end up winning a throw off Ugarte. 2-2.
Yeah, just that system I was just touching on, Jim, there. As you can see now, Patrick Dorgu is over on that left-hand side. And I just wonder, with United having those 3 centre-halves, Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw and Lenny Yoro now on the pitch, it looks more like a 5. And I don't think it's helping Manchester United at all. Look, the same story again, isn't it? They can score goals, but they can't keep a clean sheet.
32 they've conceded this season. They haven't kept a clean sheet away from home, as I mentioned, since last March. But if you go back further than that, 5 clean sheets now in 36 games in League and Cup. Here's Edwards, twisting on the edge of the penalty area for Burnley. 2-2, level with the edge of the United box. They've got the initiative now, the Clarets, having got themselves back on level terms with that stunner from Jadon Anthony. Edwards, little layoff. Anthony's got it again. They're showing him onto his left foot again. They know the danger of that, but it was cleared. Lenny Yoro gets it away. Then a Esteve. And then played over the top. And Sesko is in. He's got 2 defenders quickly back goal side. And Esteve has forced Sesko just to turn away and play back out towards Patrick Dorgu. Casemiro finds Dorgu again, level with the edge of the box, running at Laurent onto his right foot. It's a low skidder which was easily blocked. Now it comes back to him, to Cunha. And Cunha toe poking it back out to the left-hand side, looking for Casemiro. And Casemiro had committed himself and he wasn't going in that direction. Burnley clear. Back out towards Lommans, who in his bright yellow goalkeeping garb, acting as sweeper keeper, comes out, picks up possession, finds Sandro Martinez, now for Ugarte. 19 to go here on TalkSport on a thrilling night of Premier League action. And we've got more tomorrow as Arsenal take on Liverpool in that 8 o'clock kickoff. The build-up starting with Adrian Durham and co at 7 at the Emirates tomorrow, where Arsenal can go 8 points clear at the top of the table. Shaw's got it. Shaw left-footed, in towards Sesko on the turn. Good shot on target, but he didn't get the power he wanted, and Dubravka could make the save.
Well, he's searching for his hat-trick, Benjamin Sesko, isn't he? Decent enough ball from Luke Shaw. Got his shot away yet again.
Has scored 4 senior hat-tricks in his career for club and country. His last one coming for Slovenia against Kazakhstan about 16 months ago. Cunha bringing the ball forward here for Manchester United. Running at Florentino inside the penalty area. Sesko again takes it. Little back heel flick from him. Couldn't work the shot that time. Talk about a weight being lifted off your shoulders. Oh, he's in that long goal drought. He's always been quite a patchy player in terms of the goals he scored. When he's been on form in his career, they have come in real blitzes. And is he going to be playing himself back into form with the 2 goals he scored in a 10-minute period tonight?
Yeah, well, look, goals breed confidence, Jim, there's no doubt. I mean, on this occasion, I think he actually should have laid the ball off to Luke Shaw. But he's showing that intent of making those runs and getting away from his centre-half, which I really like. And his hold-up play, again, has been a lot better in this second 45 minutes.
Casemiro's ball in behind him, and he was not happy with that. Burnley can get it away. And finding Florentino. Flick round the corner by Uga Chukwu for Anthony, who just traces the ball through the centre circle before working it wide for Edwards. And Kyle Walker's made a good run forward down towards the corner flag and hasn't won a corner. He thought he had. And he's berating the assistant referee, Tim Wood, over on the far touchline, but a goal kick has been given. You're listening to Burnley Man United on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. So changes being made again for United. Cunha and Casemiro are the 2 players who are coming off here, Mickey.
Yeah, and I think it looks like Kobe Mainoo and Joshua Zirkzee are coming on. So again, it's just to freshen things up. And Matheus Cunha's done very well tonight. Obviously better in that second half when he went more centrally. But Kobe Mainoo, has been a lot of talk, hasn't there? Well, throughout the whole of the season. Is he going to get his chance in a Manchester United shirt? Well, it's a different system now. So it's up to him to go and show everybody the talent that he does possess. And Joshua Zirkzee, on the other hand, just needs to show us something.
Man once scored for United in an FA Cup final. Kobe Mainoo is on. He still hasn't started a Premier League game all season. He's got the ball at his feet now, just temporarily in the left-back position, but he's played it forward here for Ugarte. To Dorgu, to Shaw. Shaw across the edge of his own penalty area for Lisandro Martinez as the Burnley choir finds its collective voice again. Ball in the centre of midfield with Mainoo. From him to Yoro. United have made 4 of their changes now. We were talking earlier about players who have played for their father in the Premier League. Don't know how long Darren Fletcher is going to be the incumbent and how many opportunities there will be for him to pick either Jack or Tyler. He's got 1 change left at his disposal tonight. Jack's still waiting on the bench. They would be the 8th father and son combination in the Premier League. The 8th time a father has picked his son to play in a game. We were talking earlier about who the other 7 are. We'll start going through the answers for you in a moment. The ball was played forward down the Burnley right. Breuer chasing after it. It's a good sliding challenge. Wins it back. Lisandro Martinez inside the centre circle. Works it forward here for Kobe Mainoo. Dorgu to the left. So too Shaw, who receives the first ball, then plays it in towards Dorgu. Dorgu cutting in between 2 Burnley players, then gave it away. And Jayden Anthony's done likewise. Breuer wins it back. Played out to the Burnley right before Kobe Mainoo regains possession, then he's given it away to Florentino. Burnley work it forward towards Anthony. Anthony on halfway, the scorer of Burnley's equalising goal. Was he caught? He was. Pulled back. And the free kick's been given against Zirkzee. And Burnley are going to make a change, another change. Over on the far side, Breuer is coming off. And is it going to be Lyle Foster who will come on to replace him? Yes, it is. Foster only got back to Manchester Airport last night after the African Cup of Nations. You got any of those father and sons, Mick?
Well, I'll give you the answers quickly while we've got to stop and play, Jim. Alex Ferguson, Steve Bruce, Brian Clough, Mike Walker and Harry Redknapp.
Oh,
Is that 5?
That is 5.
My two outside guesses were Gordon Strachan and Archie Gemmell.
Ball is whirred in towards Foster immediately in the thick of the action on the edge of the penalty area. You went to ground, nothing given. It would have been a free kick rather than a penalty anyway. Foster with a little bit of industry and fresh legs causing problems for the United back line. And then the ball ends up between the feet of Dorgu. Walker trying to extract it has given the free kick away. Mick, you've done really well. You've got 6 of the 7.
Steve Bruce, I don't know if I mentioned him as I was speaking to you then, Jim. That was my other one.
Steve Bruce is correct. So I'll go through the answers for you very shortly. Well, you've done brilliantly there. I think you've got all 7. Here's Mason Mount wearing 7 for Manchester United. It's 2-2. 13 minutes to go. Luke Shaw's ball inside the box. Zirkzee was poised. It was just flicked out of his flight path. Mainu down towards Dallow and back again. Mainu's ball inside the penalty area, stabbed away by Humphreys, who made a brilliant goal line clearance in the first half. Back it comes from Yoro. Dallow stumbled as he receives it. He fires it inside the box and a little flick diving header from Lenny Yoro. Real high tariff chance. And it's brushed off his dreadlocks and gone wide.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. He just slipped, didn't he, Diego Dallow, as he was whipping that ball in from this right-hand side, and it made it very difficult for the forward players who've made that run in towards the 6-yard area, one of them being Lenny Yoro. Couldn't quite guide it towards that Burnley goal. But that's the intent United are going to have to show until that full-time whistle goes now, Jim, because everybody will look at this game and think this is a game they should win. They've drawn too many of late, which is why they've had a change in manager in the first place. And at times they've looked great tonight, but other times, giving the ball away, it looked really sloppy at times, and that's something that they need to cut out very quickly.
Yep, in this recent run where they've only lost one of their last 8 games, they have played 4 matches against bottom 6 opposition and drawn all 4. Is it going to be the same story tonight? Ball is with Senna Lomans. It's 2-2, 12 minutes to go. He's just siphoned it through the midfield. Ugade's got all the time in the world to be able to turn and now drive into Burnley territory. And he plays it down towards Patrick Dorgu. It's got Zirkzee making a near post run. Šeško on a hat-trick near the penalty spot. Attacks it. Zirkzee got in his way. Clearance then hits the Dutchman. Bounces down towards the penalty spot. Burnley hammer it clear again. Lomans is only 6 yards inside his own half as he controls that. Sends a steepling ball high up into the night sky. And it comes down, is flicked on towards Lyle Foster. He is flagged offside. Free kick to United on halfway. So, just to confirm the 7, Messrs Ferguson, Redknapp, Strachan, Clough, Walker, Bruce and Todd all picked their sons in Premier League 11s. If you said Kenny Dalglish and Paul Dalglish, it didn't happen. Kenny signed him for Newcastle, never picked him. It was Ruud Gullit that gave him his first team appearances. 2-2, 11 minutes to go. And the ball is away to our right-hand side. It's going to be cleared by Martin Dubravka, former Manchester United goalkeeper after a loan spell that he had from Newcastle at Old Trafford. He's got it forward towards halfway, and Josh Laurent has been fouled, and it's a free kick to Burnley just inside United territory. 10 minutes for either side to win it, Mick.
Yeah, and you've just got to go for it now. If you're Manchester United, how many times have they had a chance to leapfrog and get themselves into the top 5 or the top 4, and they've slipped with draws or defeats? The Everton one springs to mind when they were down to 10 men, couldn't get anything out of that game, and it feels like this is going to be another opportunity for United that's going to slip away from them. But credit to Burnley, got themselves in front, then clawed the deficit. They were behind, but then they've clawed their way back to that 2-2 draw at the moment. And it could be anybody's. I don't think the scoring's finished, I have to say, in this game. But the lack of quality at times has been there for everybody to see.
Now, clawed the deficit. I think he's on the radar of quite a few clubs in the January transfer window from the French second division.
He's a good player.
He is, yeah. He's got a tidy left foot. Here's Zirkzee. Now works it through the midfield to Luke Shaw, who can come forward here for United. 9 to go. Shaw towards the edge of the penalty area. Slips it in for Zirkzee. Good block by Esteve. Dorgu's ball in. Šeško! And the goalkeeper's caught it. Didn't get hold of it. Flicked it into the ground. It looped up. Dubravka made the save. Whacked it upfield quickly. where Foster's pace caused problems for Yoro, who recovered really well. It's a corner for Burnley. That was a great counter-attack. There's a good foot race out between Lyle Foster and Lenny Yoro. It's currently 2-2 for the latest odds. Head to Ladbrokes right now. Burnley 6-1. The draw 11-8 on. United to win 9-5. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18+. Gambleaware.org. Corner to be taken on the Burnley left by Jaden Anthony. Just about puts the ball down legally on the corner quadrant. I have to assume that part of the yellow ball is actually touching part of the white line. Doesn't look it from here. Now Anthony, again, puts his right arm up, now hits it in, right-footed, swerving towards the near post. United defensive flick was a good one. Dorgu then heads it out of his own penalty area with a couple of touches. He ends up on the deck. It's caught by Lucas Perez, and he's got a free kick. 2-2.
Yeah, I think ref's always going to give a foul there, but this game's anybody's, and it's there to be won. There's so many openings.
Esteve. Burnley score again. They'll have netted as many tonight as they have at home to Manchester United in the last 17 meetings between the two clubs. Ugarte. Dallo, back for Ugarte, another goal on Tyneside, Steve Harmison.
It's Newcastle 2, Leeds United 3, and it's Brennan Aronson again. He has had a fantastic night at St James's Park. Newcastle lost the ball on the halfway line, struck past it to Aronson, who ran at Sven Botman and put it in the bottom right-hand corner. Newcastle 2, Leeds 3.
2 for Aronson, a DCL penalty, Leeds 3-2 up at Newcastle, who are unbeaten at home in 11 since they lost to Arsenal back in September, but trailing tonight. And they've got about 12 minutes to go in that one. Here is the final change for Manchester United. Ugarte coming off, and it's Shea Lacey who's going to come on to replace him. Lacey, who made his debut for the last 10 minutes at Villa. And he was really lively. He was at that game, Mickey. He played really well coming in off the right-hand side. He had one very firmly struck shot. Didn't quite get the direction that he wanted, but hit it with plenty of brute force from the edge of the penalty area. And the young right winger is on for the final 6+ stoppage time here.
Yeah, look, it's just game time, isn't it? He's a talented player. He looks lively. He looks as if he's got a goal in him as well. He's full of confidence. And every minute you get at this time of your career, certainly when you're a young player, oh my goodness.
Zirkzee giving it away. He was looking for Mount. He didn't find him. He only found Anthony. Anthony for Edwards. Edwards has got Foster in the middle, but he's offside, so just had to delay the cross. That made it easier for United to be able to get the bodies back in the right position to be able to defend it. And then they'll get it out towards Patrick Dorgu. So Mount now in a more central area with Lacey hugging the right-hand touchline, and they play the youngster in, wearing 61 on the back of his white shirt, coming to the edge of the box. Oh, he's hit the bar! Lacey getting it onto his left foot. I said that he had power. Brilliant attempt. Now it comes back in from Joshua Zirkzee across the face of goal, and it's gone wide. But that was almost a perfect introduction. Shea Lacey, he's only been on the field 40 seconds, and he smacks the bar.
Well, Jim, where we're from, it looked as if it was just going to nestle right in the top corner. It's brilliant play from Lacey on this right-hand side. That left foot just wants to cut inside, get to the corner of the 18-yard box, and as he curls it past Dubravka, who's got no chance if it does dip underneath that crossbar, but that crossbar has helped out Burnley and it's helped out Martin Dubravka. What a strike.
I think it's still reverberating away to our right hand side in front of the United fans who had the perfect view of that. Nearly a inspirational substitution from Darren Fletcher.
Fletcher's fledglings, Jim, isn't it, at the moment? Now young players who are on there.
Certainly. And the other day at Leeds they had 5 who were 18 or younger on the bench. It's not been quite as bad as that tonight, or quite as inexperienced as that, because there's no doubt that there is talent amongst those 5, but just no miles on the clock as yet. But the fact that Bruno was back and Mount and Maguire and Mainu all back fit and on the bench made it much more experienced substitutes cordon for Darren Fletcher to be able to call upon, rather than what Ruben Amorim could use at the weekend. In fact, he only made 2 changes at the weekend. Here's Ugachukwu for Burnley. He's 10 yards outside his own penalty areas. He works it to his left for Bashir Humphries. Hasty back pass from him, but it was good enough to find Dubravka, and he had the time that he wanted to take a second touch to get it away. Dallo nodding it on through the midfield. Mainu shoved to the ground. Free kick given away by Florentino. United in a hurry to get on with it. Leeds 3-2 up at Newcastle. United inches away from being 3-2 up here at Burnley. Still 2-2. We've got 3.5 minutes plus 4 maybe of stoppage time to go. Still plenty of time for both of these sides to turn 1 point into 3 here on Talksport. Remember, tomorrow night, Arsenal-Liverpool. And also remember, 10 days' time, it's the Manchester Derby. And that is live on Talksport as well. Saturday the 17th, kicking off at 12:30. And our build-up starts at 11. Here's Luke Shaw finding Mainu. Mainu to Mount. No challenge coming in on Mount. The Burnley fans frustrated by that. He's able to easily knock it away from Ugachukwu out towards Dorgu. Back from Mount again. Kobbie Mainoo takes a pass that was just very slightly behind him. Back to Mount. Mount. Zirkzee trying to turn inside the box. Knocked away by Ugachukwu. And then Florentino dallying, didn't have that much time. United have won it back. It's Dallo. Dallo was just given a shove. He kept possession. Then a right-footed shot from Kobbie Mainoo was not the comeback goal that he wanted. It's sailed into the United supporters. 87 gone. Burnley 2, Manchester United 2.
That's 2 opportunities from United perspective, Jim, in the second half, where they've got bodies inside of the 18-yard area. This one being Kobbie Mainoo from 35 yards out, 30 yards out. Got no chance of scoring from there. The other one came from Lisandro Martinez a little bit earlier on in this second half. And he had Sesko inside the area. Cunha was inside the area. Bruno Fernandes. And he took a shot on when, 1 out of 100, you hit the target or you score a goal. Just be a little bit more patient. It's been a bit erratic over the last 10 minutes from United. I suppose you could say the same thing for Burnley as well. And they just need to be patient if they're going to search for this winning goal.
Shaw takes a throw on the United left. Burnley fans thought that it should have been their ball. They've very quickly got it back. And they have it with Edwards. This time it's definitely a Burnley throw. And ironic cheers as the decision is given the Clarets' way. Kyle Walker throws that match ball down, just rolls it behind him into the hoardings. Picks up another one. Dries it on the inside of his claret shirt. A yellow card has been shown, I think, to Scott Parker, who's just in discussion with the fourth official, Sam Allison, right now. There's confirmation it is the Burnley manager, Scott Parker, that has picked up that yellow. Dissent, I think, from the earlier decision that had seemingly been given the wrong way. Burnley working it from Walker down the line. Foster's offside. He knew he was. And the free kick is United's in the left back position with a minute plus stoppage time to win it. Martinez takes the free kick. Maybe nicked a few yards as he did so. Finds Lenny Yoro. Yoro to Mount. Lacey, who's hit the bar, has come closer than anyone to winning it. Just on the right-hand touchline. Dallo flicks it into his path now. Back again to Yoro. 5 minutes we're hearing will be added at the end of this game. We're very nearly in them. Lisandro Martinez over the top, past Dallo and Zirkzee, and Dubravka lets it go. Out of play for a goal kick. 2-2 as we go into stoppage time. Nicky Gray.
Yeah, I think they're just getting in each other's way at the moment. Sesko and Zirkzee clashing together moments earlier. This time, Diego Dalot making that run in between his 2 centre forwards, when he probably should have been better, maybe just holding his run and giving that chance of Zirkzee to maybe get in between these 3 centre-halves of Burnley. But kind of the story of the last 15 minutes in this second half, it's just been a little bit scrappy.
5 minutes to go. In 10-15 minutes or so, the sports bar will be open for business. 03717223344. It's the number that gets you through to Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara taking your calls tonight. Bashir Humphries named as the sponsors man of the match. Here's Luke Shaw. And he's just flicked it to Patrick Dorgu over on the United left. They're inside their own half. 4.5 minutes to go. 2 apiece in a game that both sides have led. Shaw Back for Martinez. Martinez on the edge of the centre circle. Here's Mason Mount coming forward. Mount whacks a ball, but with accuracy. Out to Dorgu. Dorgu fires a cross in that was awkward for Xerxes to control. Ugachukwu tries to lead a counter-attack, but very quickly had Kobbie Mainoo between him and the ball, and Mainoo up against a taller, seemingly stronger opponent, has done really well to win that back. Just got in, good ball retention. Lacey's done well as well with a little trick. Stops the ball going out of play for a throw, flicks it past Anthony, and United have it with Martinez. Martinez towards the edge of the box. Foster's back defending for Burnley, but he can't win possession back. Martinez is a yard away from the edge of the penalty area. 3.5 to go at 2-2. Mount chipping it in. It's Luke Shaw coming onto it, and he stretched and couldn't reach it. Maybe just took his eye off the ball as he had a look to his right to see who was where and what he needed to do next. And the chance for him to cross it in had quickly gone. Out of play for a goal kick. And Marcus Edwards will get a standing ovation from a large swathe of the Burnley supporters. He's going to be replaced for the last 3 minutes by Oliver Son. So as a defender coming on for a playmaking midfielder, Scott Parker trying to protect the point they've got.
Yeah, point to point. It's obviously not enough for what Burnley needs. Set adrift a little bit now at the bottom of the table, or second from bottom in the table. They would have liked all 3 points, but I don't think they've showed enough, really, Jim, in this game. Not one shot on target. They've got a goal from it, the other one being a deflected goal from a Man United defender. When you look at Manchester United, 29 shots, 10 on target. You'd think that would be enough to win a football match, but I think it just proves the point that they've still got those flaws up front and defensively where they can't keep those clean sheets and they're not getting enough goals to win football matches.
Burnley get a throw near the edge of the United penalty area. That tally of 29, the most of any team in a Premier League match, home or away, this season.
Wow.
So that just shows you the attacking intent has been there from Manchester United, but they've only scored 2 of them. And they've got a throw to defend here, which Son has taken. And now he's got it back down by the corner flag, and he's been able to work it back. Return ball to him from Kyle Walker. Son down by the corner flag, can't get there, and it's cleared. He chested down over on the right-hand side by Burnley's Josh Laurent. Wins a throw. 1.5 minutes. 30 seconds for the last Burnley change. So 2 minutes of playing time to go. 2-2 the score. Goal at either end now wins it, you feel. Son can't make anything happen, and in fact has given a free kick away, then back heels the ball over the dead ball line and out of play for a free kick. Very quick news for goal at St James's Park from Steve Harmison.
Newcastle 3, Leeds 3, 10 minutes injury time to go, and Bruno Guimaraes from the penalty spot makes it 3-3. Guillemot, next goal the winner. Newcastle 3, Leeds 3.
8th of the season for Bruno, and Newcastle still in with an opportunity of a 10th home win in 12. 3-3 there. Lyle Foster's going to get a yellow card because he was complaining about, with some justification may I add, where the free kick was going to be taken from for Manchester United. It should have been much nearer the corner flag than initially it was spotted down. Foster made the point and stopped it being taken, kicked it back to where he thought it should be. The referee's taken an exception and booked him. Free kick's been taken. Burnley clear it. Back towards Lomans. Lomans knocking it forward. About a minute playing time to go. It's 2-2. Xerxes to Dallow. Down towards Lacey. The youngster coming in off the right flank. You see his breath in the air as he makes his way to the edge of the area. Let's fly again! And he was close again. But he's put that one wide of the top right-hand corner.
Well, he certainly wants to score tonight, doesn't he, Shane Lacey? Another wonder strike. Look, this one's a little bit further out, but because he's made the angle himself, it's got that whip and curl on it, and it looks like it's going towards that top corner, but just curls away at the last second. Dubravka shuffling across to his left-hand side. That's probably the final chance.
I don't know that it was a formality that he had it covered there, Dubravka. His might be the last kick of the night. We've played 25 seconds over the 5 minutes. One last attack potentially. The ball over the halfway line, headed down by Son, and that is that, and it ends on us even. It's another point for Burnley. It's another frustrating night for Manchester United. Despite a shot count in the 30s, they still only managed 2. And Darren Fletcher's brief reign starts in the same way that Ruben Amorim's reign ended, with a point, only a point, away to bottom six opposition. He will feel that they should have won it. They deserve to on the balance of play in the second half, but it's more ground lost and they fail to get into the top five. Burnley 2, Manchester United 2.
Well, Man United in 6th, a point behind Brentford in 5th, and Burnley stay in the bottom 3. It's another point closer to safety, but after Forest win last night, they are 8 points adrift of 4th bottom. Burnley need wins, not just draws. Mickey Gray, entertaining game, and it could have been won by either side in the end. So does that mean the draw was a fair result?
Well, if you look at chances and every stat in the game, Adrian, Manchester United should have won that game by plenty. 31 opportunities in the game says that you should win a football game. But we've seen again how negative they look at times defensively and always look vulnerable, and sides are going to score goals against them. Look, did we learn anything from Manchester United tonight? My answer will be no. We didn't. We know that they can score goals, they can be entertaining at times, but they can look very, very average on other occasions. I think at times tonight they look very average. Give the ball away a lot in that first half. I think second half they improved. They looked a little bit better when they brought Bruno over to his right-hand side and Cunha went through the middle to play as the 10. But, my goodness, there is still a lot of problems at Manchester United, I have to say.
Yeah, there are. Let me just give you those stats. United's XG was 2.19. Burnley's 0.24. And it finished 2-2, bear in mind. United 30 shots, Burnley 7. 1 on target for Burnley only. And that was the second goal. The first was an own goal. And United had 10 on target. Sesko's got a couple of goals. That's a positive for Manchester United. But defensively, and at times tonight they were a 4. At other times, you noticed it in commentary, they reverted to 3 centre-backs. Defensively, they still haven't got it right.
No, they haven't. I don't know if that's down to communication between the defenders, or I just don't think it might be down to a lack of quality. Young centre-halves, Aidan Hedden, who's been a very good player over the last 5 or 6 games, probably Manchester United's best player. I think he actually won United's Player of the Month. But he stuck a leg out tonight. And when you do that as a centre-half, things can happen. It deflected off his foot and it drops into the back of your net. The second goal, wonder strike from Jadon Anthony. He hasn't scored for ages, but he deserved his goal. But I see Luke Shaw was alongside him and he poked his left foot out at it. And I'm thinking, no. As a defender, you throw your body at that. Yes, he was inside of his own 18-yard box, but you have to command that area and block anything that is coming towards your goal. It was a bit of a lacklustre challenge. So the 2 goals were preventable. They were sloppy, but it's the story of Manchester United's season. And they haven't won another game against one of the sides in the bottom half of the table. Really poor.
Burnley 2, Man United 2. It's time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here For It hero on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
And Mickey Gray, who are you going for?
Well, I think he scored 2 goals tonight. I'm going to give it to Benjamin Sesko. He had 8 shots at target tonight, Adrian. Got a couple of goals tonight, and I thought we saw signs of him being a Manchester United player, certainly in that second half. So I'm going to give Benjamin Sesko my man of the match.
Well, not many would have thought that pre-kick-off, but fair play. He's got a couple of goals, and he's looking better. Benjamin Sesko, our Here For It hero. Man of the match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.